Hi there everybody, it's Lisa and welcome back to my channel. Just going to pull my chair in and hopefully I'm still running. Today I've got a little project to share with you and I'm going to show you how I made this. These are little scented lavender books and this is what I've been working on today. I did actually do a tutorial earlier on today, but it was 36 minutes long and I couldn't get it uploaded. So this is the shorter version where I've already carried out some of the stages of the project, and hopefully it'll work out and you'll get enough from it that you're able to make one for yourself. If you open it up, it has a little pouch of dried lavender, and I just thought it was a nice little change from making a greetings card. This is for a colleague who has been ill, and I thought, well, it would be really nice to make something a little bit different to the norm. So I'll put these to the side. And like I say, this is the second version, but what I will show you is the original size, which was 5 inches by 7 1/4, and your front and back panels are 3 1/4 inches, and your spine is 3/4 of an inch. And obviously it's going to be quite flimsy, so you need to strengthen the inside panels and the spine. So you would just cut a fraction smaller than 5 by 3 1/4 here, and a fraction smaller than 5 3/4 of an inch here, and then you can just do your layering and your matting the way you usually do it. With myself, it is 1/8 of an inch I come down in size with each mat, but here I can show you the sizes for this one. This would be 4 7/8 by 3, and the green part would be 2 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I think this is, let me think, 2 3/8 by 4 3/8. Anyway, you can do the sizes however you like. You can use scrapbooking paper as the first mat, or you can do what I did here, which is emboss some card. It's really up to you, and you can do whatever size you want. For this one, I'm making it a little bit smaller because I do have some glassine bags that I want it to fit inside. So I've gone ahead, scored, got a little piece of glue here as always, and I've put my first mat on. I've attached my ribbon using my ATG gun, and that'll hold it in place until you stick the top parts down. What I've also done is I've started off with the stamping just to save some time. You will see there. And I've started off matting the first layers, and I am using, I'll show you it, the Retired Lots of Lavender set by Stampin' Up, and I've been wanting this for a long time, and I found it at the craft sale that I went to with my friend Moira. I think we went there in October, so that was very worthwhile to get that. Like I say, I have been wanting it for a while. So I think what I'll do just now is I will start to put in the panels on the inside. and I'm using Yoo-hoo glue. I'm not sure if it's acid free, so you have to be careful what projects you put it on. But really, this is just for quickness, to show you how quickly you can actually make this. Right, so it is ever so slightly smaller all the way around, and that is our first panel. And obviously the closure on this one is going to be ribbon, but you can also put an eyelet in and thread ribbon round, so the eyelet is at the back and then it ties in a bow. That's a really nice finish as well. So that's the first part in. Next I'm going to put a little bit of lace in, and I have distressed the lace slightly, and what I'm going to do is going to put a little bit of the ATG tape just to hold that down as we glue it on. Oh, actually, take the corners off it and it'll sit much nicer. And I'm going to just put a little dot of glue at various bits along the centre. I don't have any fabric tack left, so that's why I'm using my Yoo-hoo, but it is actually really good for fabric, believe it or not. And it's quite hard to even it up and get it in the centre, because I would usually stand over it and do that part. Right, and that's caught it. So now we can add the centre piece here. And you can use double-sided tape or glue. For speed, I am using the Yoo-hoo glue. And then I end up with glue all over my fingers. But that'll give you a little bit of wiggle room, just so that you can check it and make sure it's centred properly. Right, so that's us got the inside and the spine strengthened. Next we are going to move on to this piece. So I'm going to add some little bits and pieces to this, and this is supposed to be a watercolour look, so you don't want it to be too strong. That's it. So and next we are going to add the stems, and I'm using the Stampin' Up! Call Me Clover ink pad for this. Sometimes I do a little bit more practicing than I need to do, just to be sure. us. Is that bit done? And now I'm going to just colour some of the leaves. That's gone a wee bit darker, pressed too hard. And I have lost my stamping block for the big one. Here it is. And I'm going to use Stampin' Up! Wisteria Wonder, but I've got a funny feeling this is retired. But don't worry, you can use any kind of purple colour or lilac colour for this. There we go. And just kind of try to line it up. All I can see is a glare from the light. There we go. And if you have missed any pieces, just take your aqua painter if you've missed any tiny bits and just fill it in. Remember, you don't want it to be perfect. Quite a few wee bits missed there. And then that'll give you the watercolour look. There we go. That should be us. Handy. And what I am going to do next is add this to the front, and I've managed to get some ink on it. Well done, Lisa. Don't know how that happened. Bet it was my ink fingers. Right, not to worry, we can cover that up. These are the things that happen. So let's go ahead and glue that on. And I always just go over the edges so that it's not going to ooze out. And I've just noticed that mat is a little bit short at the bottom. It was a bit squint, so I chopped another piece off. This is really just for show, just to show you how it's done, and then you can go ahead and make one yourself. So that's that bit done. And we can hide the ink there with this little banner. And then I've just taken it over the edge slightly, just to give it a wee bit of dimension. And what we're going to do next is, as quickly as possible, we're going to put some lavender in. So I've cut out a die cut shape. I'll take my ATG gun, and this is pretty good because it allows you to kind of manoeuvre your fabric without glue oozing everywhere. So it's quite good to use this. And this is just a piece of cheesecloth, and we want to make sure we push some through so that we can make that 3D pouch. And then we want to smooth down the edges all around so that there's no bumps. And you can lift the fabric up and move it around a little bit. And you can also take off the frayed edges. Right, so we have a little bit here, and then what we do next is I like to sit it on the ink pad to hold it, and then start putting the lavender in. This is the footery bit, as we would say in Scotland. Footery. Come on. It's because I've got glue on my fingers. Well done, Lise. And you want to get as much in there as you possibly can without it overspilling. And then maybe just make a little mound kind of thing so that it will spread out. Once you press the lid on it, so I hope you've all been well. We had a nice weekend. We got to take my baby granddaughter out for a nice walk for the first time. She is a month old. Well, almost a month old. Oops. And what I also do at this stage is I usually put in some essential oil, a couple of drops of lavender just to make it a bit stronger. But I forgot to bring it out because this is my second attempt at doing a tutorial, so I've put it away and forgotten to bring it back. And this is just got a feeling this is going to be a disaster. And then just press the lid down, and you're pressing that lavender in to the pouch. While you're doing this, take away any excess glue and then flip it over. Oh, that's looking really nice. And then you can kind of spread it out a little bit into the edges. I'm happy with that. So you will see there it is 3D now. And we can now go ahead and stick it onto the book. My glue's nearly at the end, so it doesn't want to plate. Right, that should be good to go. And we will get a little bit of space, a little bit of time to move it around, make sure the book closes, make sure all the edges are lined up, which they are. That looks really good. And carefully press it down with your bone folder. And last but not least, I've cut out a little part just to kind of frame it, and that is 2 of the die cut hearts, one bigger one and the smaller one held with washi tape and cut at the same time, and that gives you your little frame. So you can make this any size you wish, any occasion, any sentiment. You could make it Christmas themed and put like some kind of Christmas scent inside. You could put potpourri inside. You could put toy stuffing and spray perfume or essential oil and just decorate it any way you like. But you could also use any type of shape to cut out your die. I've just made this love heart. And there we go. That's it done. And how nice is that? And then you can just tie a little bow to close it over. Obviously do it a bit more fancy than that. You can pop it into a little glassine bag. This one's been embossed. I'm not sure it's going to fit. But a little glassine bag is an ideal thing to put it inside. And then I would just put it in a cellophane bag and seal it to keep the beautiful scent in. So that is our little lavender books. And I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration that you could maybe make something similar with different stamps and just enjoy crafting. So that's me for tonight, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.